just made me think about the early radiation stories you tell. I think this is in Atomic Accidents where people were first playing around with X-ray machines and they were
Uh-huh.
putting their hands in front of it and putting their face in front of it. And one of the scientists realized that he felt more sleepy if he put his face in front of the X-ray machine, and so he was writing notes as if it was some sort of insomnia cure or sleep cure that you could just X-ray yourself and pass out, and little did he know that it's just his central nervous system being assaulted by, radioactive particles. But there yeah, you have a few of those stories in there where it's like, that wasn't that long ago, but people were sort of like hawking these radiation cures, X-ray cures before we fully understood what it was.
Yeah, that was, Nikola Tesla, man for
Yeah.
whom the Tesla car is named. He was the one who discovered, X-rays, but he didn't really see what it was good for except to help him go to sleep.
I bet it did. I
Yes.
bet it and then you wake up with 3 heads.
It was, a lot of learning had to be done about, radiation, exposure. In fact, we went into World War II, went through World War II, and the only indication we had that radiation was really dangerous was the radium girls. That was, women who were paid to, write the, numbers on a watch, or a clock, with radium so that the numbers would glow at night. And, it was an alpha emitter, which was very dangerous, and unfortunately, they had to point the brush by rolling it, in their tongue, so they would be ingesting radium, and radium
Mm.
your body looks at radium and says, "What is this? How can we use this?" And it says, "Well, it looks like calcium." As it turns out, the bones in your body are constantly fixing themselves, uh, and the bone that has the most need for fixing is your jaw. You don't realize that when you're chewing food, you're actually destroying the bone structure. It has to completely rebuild it, rebuild it, rebuild it. So it started putting radium in their jaws, and it causes severe deterioration of everything. Uh, it's not mineral, and you get cancer and radiation poisoning and everything else. And from this, the scientists with the Manhattan Project knew that, yes, you're going to have some problems by releasing a great deal of radiation in a bomb. But they really didn't know how bad it would be until they started analyzing the results of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. Now, the bombs that dropped there were just a flash, literally, a millisecond flash of radiation. And to get really sick from radiation, it's like you're painting dials on watches. You get it every day for years, and from that, you eventually die from it. But when you get one flash, that's not the same. It just is able to interact with your body on a very limited time based method. So they didn't see so much of that because of the bomb drop. What they saw eventually was radiation exposure for long periods of time for people living in radioactive debris in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And from that, they started to get the idea that yes, fallout is dangerous. And fallout became a huge detriment to uh, making tests above ground and that sort of thing.
Yeah, because a lot of the initial burns, right, were from light, not radiation, which
Right.
I thought was fascinating. I didn't
Yeah.
know that you could get burned by light.
If it's bright enough, it's like staring into a searchlight or something. You get
Yeah.
an instant sunburn.
Yeah.
Very, very effective.
But is it were they getting burned in the same way that you would get a UV burn from the sun, or was it that the light was so strong from the bomb that, like, the UV content didn't matter? It's just the light is gonna overwhelm your skin.
It's just like sunlight times 100. It was the UVB, UVC that was causing the burning.